Hey guys, it's YuGiOh here, and today we have a new deck profile for all of you guys today. And today's topic is going to be Cyber Dragons. Let's get started. Let's not waste any time, let's just get going. So, up first in this deck profile, of course, we have a Kaiju. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce this name right. Jizukiru, the Star-Destroying Kaiju. Why? It's a machine. And what works well with machines? That guy. All I need to say there. And then up next, we play 3 copies of Cyber Dragons, one of the most revolutionary cards of all time in Yu-Gi-Oh! Why? He was the first card, at least to my knowledge, that if your opponent controls a monster, special summon. And then you set in a free normal summon too, so that's like a fantastic. That's fantastic. So yeah, OG Cyber Dragon, always play it at 3, don't play it in any less, yeah, you just don't. If you play it at 2, no. If you play it at 1, why? Up next, we have 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. You know, he's great for putting stuff into the graveyard to set up, set up materials, and also just get your graveyard full, and also, it's a great level 5 special summon. Great card, really cheap now. When I bought him, oh my gosh, I think I bought him for like $20, no, $15 per ultra rare. That's the only copy I could ever think he was in at the time, or whatever rarity was before. Oh, what was that box? Dual power. That's it, dual power. I was looking over there because my box is over there. Up next, I play 1 copy of Cyber Dragon Dry. Why? Because I like Cyber Dragon Dry. If you don't know what he is, but does, by the way, I mean, he's been out long enough. I would hope you all know. Just a quick reminder, though, just for you folks. If this card's name will become Cyber Dragon while on the field or in the graveyard. When this card is normal summon, you can make all Cyber Dragons you currently control become level 5. Cannot special summon any monsters during this turn. You activate this effect, except machine monsters. Well, don't worry. The only monsters you really run on the field are machines, so you really don't have to worry about that. And if he's in the graveyard, if this card, you can banish this card. Target 1 Cyber Dragon you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. So yeah, if he's in the graveyard, he's a great protection too. Up next, we play 2 copies of Cyber Dragon Veer. Okay, this one can vary. I probably should play him at 1. The only reason why I'm at 2 is because at the time I couldn't think of a 40th card solo that would be great. So I just threw an extra copy of him in there because he's not too bad, honestly. I mean, I think he's actually pretty decent. You know, if you normal or special summon a Cyber Dragon, you could bring him along too, and all your Cyber Dragons get an extra 500 attack and defense. Hey, imagine this scenario. You go second, of course, because this is a go second deck. You special summon Cyber Dragon, and you have 2 of these guys. It's an extra 1,000 attack. That's amazing. I'd love that. At least in my opinion. But up next, we have, of course, the wonderful Cyber Dragon Core. Your search engine for all your Cyber Dragon spells and traps. Beautiful card. Gotta play him at 3. You cannot play him at any less, because he's just a wonderful card. And up next, we play 3 Cyber Dragon Naster. Again, I would not. I couldn't convince myself to not play him at 3, at least in my variant, because he's great. He's great. He's just really good. Him and Cyber Dragon are the greatest combo in the deck, because normally, through my experiences, I open with him at least every time. I at least have one of those 2 or draw into him one of the 2 all the time. And it's a great card. I'm so happy that dual power included him into the, he was in that whole set. Just great card. Just great card. And up next, I play 3 copies of Cyber Dragon Hearse. This card will become Cyber Dragon in the field. Blah, 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 blah. If this card will special, basically he has 2 major factors. You can special summon him, or you send him to the graveyard to add another Cyber Dragon to your hand. 9 times out of 10, you want to go for the second one. Unless you have a perfect scenario for option number 1 where you can slap out the Infinity Train. That's the only other time I'd ever suggest playing him at 3. Because you want the graveyard setup anyway. You want the search. Or, heck, that special summon can really come in handy. You don't know. It's just everything will play out as the duel goes. Personally, 3 for me is the perfect number. And up next, we play 3 copies of Effect Veiler. Now, to be fair, you can play any hand traps. I just chose Effect Veiler because he's a light monster, and he's a really good choice. Now, of course, if you don't want to choose Effect Veiler, you have your Ash, you have your Ghost Bell. No one's going to use Spooky Dogwood. Well, you have all your Ghost Sisters. But, again, great hand trap. That's what I play. And of course, I play 1 for 1 for either one of these two. If I was going to use it for either one, I'd, of course, hers. And then we have Overload Fusion. Great card, You ever need to get this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beast out, go for it. And of course, I play 3 copies of Cyber Rev System. Now there's a debate. I probably don't need to play 3. And again, your guys' variants will change as well. If you want to play 3 copies of Cyber Dragon Rev System, sorry, I got the names mixed up. That's up to you. I personally think it's great to play 3 because not only does it bring back your Cyber Dragon, special summon a Cyber Dragon from the graveyard or your hand if you really want to, but it can't be destroyed by card effects. And as far as I know, there's no limit on that. So, yeah, it's great. And up next, I play 2 copies of Power Bond. We all know why Power Bond's a great card, especially for this deck. Now, I actually want to lead this into a quick question. If you guys want to see a fusion variant of this deck, or more fusion-heavy variant, my deck's more of like a Fusion XC's Contact Fusion sort of variant. But if you want strictly fusion, just let me know, please. I'll do my best to make it interesting. Heck, I even found a way to make this deck even synchro summon sometimes. But again, if you want to see any different variant of my Cyber Dragons, please just let me know. I will gladly let you guys take a look-sees if you want to. But this is just the typical, if you want to get good wins, or a quick win, or a good, this deck is easy to build variant. It really is. I think Cyber Dragons at this point is very cheap. Power Bond's cheap. You can get it in any variant. I mean, if you're a budget player and you think you don't want to spend like a ton of money, the only card I can pretty much guarantee you're going to probably spend money on is Cyber Emergency. But other than that, the deck's pretty much common, ultra rare, rare, super rare. It's not that expensive. At least for, not now. Especially since Galaxy Soldier got reprinted too. So yeah, Power Bond, great card. And up next, the most important spell card of this deck, Cyber Emergency. That searching comes in clutch every time. And it's even better, if it gets negated, you just get to add another one to your hand anyway. Now, of course, you can activate it, but you at least get to have another one for next turn if you live that turn. I just think Cyber Emergency was a great card. So happy it came out in that Battles of Legends set. Just beautiful card. Of course, another mandatory at 3 for me at least, Machine Duplication. This card, plus any of these guys, any of them, it's just instant XC summon, fusion summon, depending if you have Power Bond, whatever you want. It's just bam. I mean, you just can't go wrong with Machine Duplication, in my opinion. Now, there could be an occasion where you open up with it, and it's like, oh god, why do I have this card? But the times you get it, and you need it, oh, it is so great, that feeling. And I play 1 copy of Monster Reborn. That's why I was telling you guys before I didn't probably need to play 3 of these, because I already have another one of this guy, or another bring back my monster. Now, to be fair, though, maybe I don't want to bring back my monster. If for some reason another guy's playing a machine deck, by any chance, take that material. Up next, we have Cyber Repair Plant. I play that 1. It's a great card. It has always been a Cyber Dragon staple to have this card, and I will never ever put it away because it's just when you need it, it's there. It's great because if you don't have a specific light machine monster, add it to your hand. If there's one in the graveyard that you need back in the deck, there you go. It's great. Or you can activate both if you have 3 different Cyber Dragons in the graveyard. Up next, we have 2 Cyberload Fusions. Now, this is great for any banishing deck or any deck that banishes cards. Preferably faced up, of course. Or if it goes great with this card as well. That extra fusion summoning is always great. I think it's a great card. Again, recommend it. 2 or possibly even 1 if you really, really want to. And finally, my last card, the only trap card that I play, Cybernetic Overflow. Why? Because it goes great with this card. These two just kind of coexist with each other. That, and it also gets rid of a lot of problem cards if your opponent's starting to set up a big board. That's also another thing. And with Cyber Dragons, you open with a big board too when you go second. Well, again, depending on the hand. So that's the main deck. Now let's get to the extra deck. Of course, for me, I have loved this card since Zane Truesdale introduced it to GX. Cyber and Dragon. My most favorite card of all time. Just because of Zane Truesdale. Now, I know that's geeking out and everything, but you know what? I don't care. I love the card. He's a beautiful card. Besides, that piercing damage with a 4,000 beater, 8k if you go with Power Bond, could win you a game. It really could. Really can. Up next, I play Cyber Dragon Eternity. The reason why I play this card is because it's just a good card. It's a great fusion card that came out, and it's a good wall. There's not a lot of monsters that pierce over 4,000. Now, of course, there's other ways to get rid of it like that, but if your opponent does get rid of it any other ways, they pay for it because he's just that good of a card, in my opinion. And of course, up next we have Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. Okay, now this one I'm really debating about getting rid of because no one's really using the main extra monster zone anymore. Or at least not as often as they used to. I definitely still recommend playing at 1 at least. But for my variant, I always have 2 just because you never know. You never know when he'll come in clutch. I play 1 Cyber Twin Dragon for that double attack. Power Bond variant, of course. Up next, Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. A great save me card if you're going against a machine deck. Or your opponent has one monster that you could just kaiju. Phew, bam, swing for game. Finally, I also have Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon as the final fusion. Now, again, I'm probably going to bump him up and get rid of the second one to 2 because he's just, again, Rampage is a great card. Pops back row and gets to attack as many times as you sacrifice. Like, I think it's a total of 2 or 3 times. And it's just great card. Now, of course, for the XC summoning, of course, Cyber Dragon Infinity. I don't need to say more. That name alone strikes fear into everyone's hearts. Yeah, that's right. And up next, I play Cholesterol's Pleiades because... Come on. Back to the hand. Back to the hand. Artifact Dorndal. Wonderful Xyz monster with this deck. Don't sleep on it, guys. Come on. He's a great Xyz monster. I think he deserves some love. Of course, you play your 2 Novas to go into your Infinity. But heck, for some reason, if you don't want to use him for Infinity, but you want to just use Nova as a little beatdown effect, go for it. It's up to you, people. And then, obviously, I end with 2 Link monsters, being Cyber Dragon Surge and Cleafort Genius. Of course, Cyber Dragon Surge is a great Link monster, in my opinion. Gets that extra attack boost to your Cyber Dragon for the turn. No, it sucks he can't attack, but that 42,000, depending what you have on the field, of course. If he's with this guy, it's amazing. I've made it happen. And of course, Cleafort Genius is just a good card too. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this deck profile, because personally, for me, Cyber Dragons have always been a great deck for me. And I hope, if you don't like my variant, please let me know. If you want to see a different variant, I do seriously have a synchro version that I've used a couple times. Is it the best? No, but is it unique? Yes. And I also want to just do a whole fusion build one of these days as well, because I know Cyber Dragons love fusion. Or should I say Fusion OTK? That's what I really mean. Fusion OTK. So if you want to see any of that, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit the like button. Also hit that subscribe button for future more deck profiles. If I could give you a hint towards the next one, and when it will come out, I will probably say tomorrow. Maybe something different. I don't know. But if you do want to see more deck profiles, please let me know in the comments. And to give you a hint towards the next one, let's just say the main monster I want to talk about is pretty legendary. All right, everybody. Catch you in the next one. Peace.